Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today it's match day, Juventus against Brest, 9 p.m. Italian time, and I can't wait to see our boys back on the field. I'm also curious to see them wearing that controversial, highly discussed away shirt, the yellow one, because today they play with that shirt. But I'm also really curious to see how many of you will be here today, because today, I already tell you, we go with a watch along and hopefully we can celebrate the first goal, official, or not official, but the opening goal, let's say, of 24-25 from the Bianconeri. Last time we were not able to do it. So if you want to risk a bit, to play a bit, let me know in the comment who you think will score the very first goal of Juventus Football Club. Don't tell me Federico Chiesa, because Federico Chiesa has not been called up, and that's the bomba. That's one of the main topics of today's video before the game. Federico Chiesa is not called up. I was really waiting for the squad list, because it's good to read the papers, to listen to the insiders, to read what the journalists, experts are saying, or believing what the opinions of Beppe are. But I was waiting for what Juventus had in mind about a lot of situations, the one of Federico, and also a lot of other players that we didn't discuss yet. For example, Nicolussi Caviglia. Juventus took a decision, that's what we'll speak about in today's video, and much more, of course. So put a maximum of like if you didn't yet. Please continue to subscribe to the channel. I hope you're really doing, because your help is helping me so much. So thumbs up, because now we start with the squad list that has been revealed. Of course, the first thing that I did when I opened the squad list was trying to find that number 7 with the forward 7 of Federico Chiesa. And immediately it was clear that he had not been called up. If yesterday it was a doubt with Gazzetta that I was saying he will be called up, Tuttosport that he was putting a question mark, not sure that he will be called up, well, today Gazzetta is opening with Chiesa a casa, Chiesa at home. He remains at La Continassa. Now, it will be one that will be highly discussed. Some people during all these weeks and all the things that we were saying here were or believing it, or not believing it, or they decided that they wanted to ignore it. They wanted to hope that Federico Chiesa would be a player of 24-25. Some people decided to start to be aggressive against Beppe, because Beppe, what are you speaking about? You hate Chiesa, why are you speaking bad? While I was just reporting what all the people were saying, and today, at least, we have no speculations, no rumors anymore. Today we have a decision of Football Club Juventus that is saying really clearly, in the world, we don't call up Federico Chiesa, because at the moment, as we speak, he's not part of Juventus 24-25. Not only him, we'll come back on Chiesa in a second, but a lot of players are not part of Juventus 24-25. Some players, yes, some players, no. So what are the differences between the 26 players that have been called up for Herzogenaurach, that training session, that training week in Germany, and the 22 that has been called up for the game of today? We see that the 4 goalkeepers that were called up for the Germany week has been all reconfirmed. The only question is, where is Szczesny? We know it at the moment. He's not even training in La Continassa, so Szczesny out of that list, as he was already out. But that was something that we all already knew. What about the defenders? Here we see already a few movements, because if De Sciglio and Rugani were not called up and are still not called up and clearly are out of the project, well, on top of that we have Muharemovic, Facundo Gonzalez and Koopmeiners, even if Koopmeiners I don't really rate him as a defender, but more as an offensive midfielder. Well, these players from the next gen, apparently at the moment they didn't succeed their test to convince Thiago Motta. But really worrying is Jalot. Thiago Jalot, that has not been called up. Strange, because I didn't hear about an injury, etc., etc. Is he really on the market? Will he go on loan? Will we sell Thiago Jalot? Did he convince, yes or no, Thiago Motta? Well, apparently, if we're looking at that squad list and the answer that we have from it, looks like Jalot has not convinced entirely the coach. Not as a left back, not as a right back, not as a center back. It is what it is. Who has been reconfirmed? Gatti, Cambiaso, Cabal, Savona and Rui. 2 players that we spoke about really well in the last few days. We already anticipated that. I was really surprised to see Barbieri that didn't play really well against Nuremberg. Being there, he has always been on the mercato with voices to Venezia, etc., etc. Well, he has been called up again there, which also indicates that we are missing some fullbacks. because if you call again Barbieri, it means that you miss some fullbacks. On the other side, we have two new entries, Bremer and Danilo. For the midfielders, also there are a lot of movements. If Miretti, that is actually celebrating his birthday today, has not been called up because of the injury that he had, and he will be away even for the first 2 games of Serie A. The big one here is, of course, Nicolussi Caviglia, because it's true that not a lot of us were believing that he could stay in that team 24-25. We heard about a lot of teams interested in him. Venezia that is back on the player, but seeing him there out of that list is a big one, which means that apparently he's extremely close to leave Juve, and that Juventus took a decision also there. If we need to continue with someone, it is with Miretti. Is it because of that injury? Is it because they believe more in Miretti than Nicolussi? We will never know, but the last few things that happened made that Miretti is in the team and Nicolussi not. Locatelli, Adzic, Thuram, Fagioli has been reconfirmed. On top of that, we have a Douglas Luiz. No chances still for Arthur, McKennie, Kostic, and even Nonge, because Nonge has been there since first day, has never been called up. Nonge is not part of the project, so we will not see a real evolution from next-gen player to first team for Nonge. Will he be on the market? Will he be a next-gen player? Let's see. Forwards, Soule has been sold. Haza, that a lot of us were even hoping that he could be partially part of that first team, has not been called up. Haza, that are chances that he go to Palermo. Vlahovic, Weah, Sekulov, and Bangula are called up. On top of that, you have Yildiz, Chiesa, and Milik not in. They are still out. Now, if we come back on Chiesa, after I told you, before that, let me know what you think about the decisions of Juve, of these 22 players. Who is shocking you the most, except of Chiesa? Because I know that all of you will say Chiesa. Is it Nicolussi? Is it Jalot? Is it another player? Let me know. But Chiesa, look, guy, I told you since a few weeks, there are multiple reasons why we are going towards a breakup with Federico. Contract, which is the most important thing, 1 year of contract, and there is no way at the moment that there is an extension. Because of Juventus not offering enough, because of Juventus not believing enough, because of Federico requesting more, because of tactical decisions, because Thiago Motta is not believing at 100% to the player or not. Will we ever know? I don't know. But it's true that on the other side, we hear more and more and more the rumors from all the journalists that there could potentially be that shadow of Marotta behind Federico's decision. That Marotta already contacted the entourage telling him, if you go for free, we are there next year. 25, 26, we are the team that are taking you. There are no deniements on that one. There are confirmation more and more on that one. And Juventus today not calling him up could be a big sign to Federico, telling you, guy, you were already out of the project. You knew it. Look, if your decision is to not find another team, you risk to not really be involved in that Juventus 24-25. It's up to you. So it's a big one. It's really a big one. Let me know what you think about Federico Chiesa's decision or Juventus' decision on Federico Chiesa. Then the numbers are also an important one, because today we see that Douglas Luiz has chosen the number 26, revealed in that squad list. And then the other number also is the one of Kenan Yildiz. Kenan Yildiz, that at the moment has still that number 15, and I hope for the hundreds, maybe thousands of Juventini that already stamped Yildiz 10, that he will change the decision, or at least that they will find an agreement. Otherwise, he continued the season with the number 15. At least today, he starts with the 15 today, probably from the bench. We'll speak about the lineups in a second. Other things, well, Thuram going with the number 19. Yesterday, we saw Thuram not with the ball this time, but with a shirt showing his number, which I link to Di Gregorio last week that didn't show the number 29. So also there, for the big fans of Di Gregorio or goalkeeper shirt, wait a bit, because I see that a number change can happen. Who can play today, which is important? Well, Di Gregorio starting again in the goal. Savona as a starter on that right side, with Gatti, Cabal, and Cambiaso on the left. Thuram, Locatelli again. And then we see up front Weah as a starter. Adzic in a Yildiz position, and Fagioli advanced midfielder number 10 with Vlahovic there. What can we understand from that predicted lineup is that again we are giving trust to the players that are there since the beginning, the players that were already there in Germany, waiting a bit to see our new players that just arrived. Is it the right choice or not? Let's see. I'm really curious to see the physical condition, to see the training part, the tactical part, things that we didn't see, like yesterday, for example. Thuram said in press conference, he said, I will not reveal you all the things that Thiago Motta is asking me, otherwise our opponents, they will start to see it and discover it. Well, I'm curious to see what they train this week. And then waiting, of course, to see the other players entering in the second half. I don't expect the 11-11 this time, but I'm expecting maybe 11 that are starting, and some of them are continuing for a bit more minutes than 45 as we saw the last time. Corriere dello Sport is opening the new chapter of the video, Cantiere Giuntoli. Open works, under construction. And it's true that not only the players under construction, but a lot of things, like for example the sponsor. But on the other side, we are working. Under construction means that we are still working. That NL partnership yesterday has been revealed, 1.5 million euro. It will not be a sponsor that will come on the shirt, but you will see it on LED around the stadium, maybe behind the players when they are speaking in the backboards. Well, NL 1.5, you will tell me, it's not a lot. First of all, I tell you that as an energy partner is the one that is paying most to an Italian club. So we already found the best possible deal there. Then if you add Adidas, NL, as I already told you, Sai Games, Prime Drinks, that has not been confirmed yet, but that we see everywhere, and Zonda Crypto waiting for our main sponsor. Well, bit by bit, we are starting to accumulate a lot of money from sponsorship side. When I told you under construction, it's also the management. With Giorgio Chiellini today revealed that is closer and closer and closer to come back to Juventus. From September, he should be there. Not in the sporting side, but more in the team of Scannavino. Pay attention, beautiful management job, first year probably without too much decisional side, but one that will be active in Juventus Football Club, how Juventus is working, more behind the scene than acting sporting, so he will not join the Cristiano Giuntoli side. What about the players? Tuttosport is telling us, Juve, 50 milioni per Coop. Juve, 50 million for Koopmeiners, because yesterday things apparently are starting to accelerate with some insiders or people that wants to become insiders that's starting to say big offer now with Juve, a real one. They even increase 50 million euros. Some people are saying 50 plus 5 million euro bonus. Some easy, some difficult to reach. Some people are even telling you Atalanta, they are agreeing on everything, but they are asking Koopmeiners to stay at least until the 14th of August, where there will be that European Super Cup against Real Madrid, that they want the player because they will not have time to include a new player to understand the system and the tactics of Gasperini. If you pay 50 million plus bonus, guys, I want Koopmeiners to be there now. From the moment that you put the money, I want Koopmeiners to be now at Juventus. I want him to be there against Brest. What do you mean? We want to keep him. And what if he injures himself? Hopefully not. What if the player has no time to understand the tactics of Thiago Motta because he's not there yet, and because we have to wait until the 15th, probably the 16th, so 3 days before Como? Guys, at a certain moment, Atalanta. So I hope these rumors are not true. But what is true, reported by everyone, is that now Juventus is really getting serious on the player, like they are getting serious on Todibo. They understood that it's better not to joke too much. It's better not to pull that rope too hard, because that rope could possibly go broken. If you exaggerate with a loan, with an option, no, you need to go with a loan, with an obligation, and you need to go immediately. Otherwise, you have a really big problem in defense. And then still that casting about the offensive wingers that will come as a second priority, probably from the 10th of August on. But first, Todibo and Koopmeiners. One that is helping Juventus probably is Moiskin, more than we were thinking. First, because he accepted to go to Fiorentina, and we even cashed in a bit of money for that. But secondly, maybe because of his big relationship and friendly relationship with Weston McKennie, because apparently Moiskin is trying to convince Weston McKennie. Do you remember that podcast that they did together where we saw a big friendship between both of them? Well, if Moiskin could help us in Weston McKennie accepting Fiorentina, opening us the way for maybe a Nico Gonzalez, or at least to make something with Fiorentina there. Why not? Why not? Why not? I told you about Rugani. Close to go to Ajax. Also there, I need to understand. I really need to understand what will be the details about that deal, because on a pure loan with a part of the salary paid by Juventus would be a total disaster, honestly. So let's see what will be the real decision there before speaking too much. Yesterday, and that's the last part, Thuram spoke in front of microphones. You clearly see, honestly, you clearly see he's a good guy. He's really a good guy. You see it in the eye. The eyes are never lying. His idol, Paul Pogba, he said. And then he said, Patrick Vieira. Guys, if Thuram, Kefren, can do half of what Vieira and Pogba did in their career, mamma mia, what a player. If he can do half of them. He spoke about his brother, of course, making jokes. And then he said, Henri, Thierry, and Vieira, they told me, now your career is starting. Now you are in a big team. This is also really important because he always played in Ligue 1, from Monaco to Nice, and now he's in a big team at Juventus. So a big step up will be requested by Thuram, that is saying, I am a complete player, but of course I need to do more. I need to become better. Scoring goals, yes, of course, which is not my main task, and that's something that I wanted to repeat to you, because for the people that were expecting 10 goals of Kefren Thuram, I already told you, forget about it, that's not his role. Then maybe today he's opening the goals for Juve, who knows, can be. The thing that is sure is Juventus was in his destiny after his papa, Lilian, after Deschamps, Thierry Henry, Vieira, his brother that is best friends with Pogba, his idol Pogba. It was written that one day he had to become a Juventino, and I'm happy about Kefren Thuram, that I'm really curious to see this evening. So don't forget this evening, watch along here. I'm waiting for all of you. Grazie, forza, Juve.